Hello there guys, welcome back to Blues Fans TV for another live review of mine as Chelsea managed to go through to the FA Cup semi-finals by beating Leicester City 1-0 away from home in what can only be described as a very, very strange game between two, let's say, top teams. I mean, Leicester are third in the Premier League, Chelsea are fourth in the Premier League, but somehow it was a really bad game, especially from outside the first half, and then Leicester didn't really do much throughout the whole game. But then we scored one goal and we're through to the semi-final. And honestly, guys, I am bloody buzzing. Honestly, I'm happy. I'm super happy. But as I'm sure the guys in the watch along have mentioned already, we are so close to 100,000 subscribers. So please do make sure to subscribe to subscribe to Blues Fans TV so we can get the 100,000 subscribers. Honestly, we're so buzzing for it. We're so looking forward to just reaching that milestone. So if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Tell your mum, tell your nan, tell everyone you know. And if you're watching this right now, please be sure to drop a like on the video as well. But after that, let's just get into the game and let's start it off by talking about the lineup that we had going on. Let me just look at the message that I received from my girlfriend. Perfect, you know, told her to tell me what everything's working in the stream and everything because there was some mess ups going on before I started this. So I hope everything's working. But yeah, this is the team that we started with today, which I was pretty damn surprised by when I saw it, right? We had, don't know why the guy put Kepa in goal, the guy that does my graphics, because it wasn't Kepa in goal. It was Caballero in goal, so he did that one wrong. But other than that, so it was Caballero in goal instead of Kepa. My bad, didn't even check when he did that correctly. So bad Matthew, come on now. But the two centre-backs were Rudiger and Kurt Zouma, as I predicted. Reece James started on the right, and Emerson actually got a start at left-back. Then a midfield three of them got a Kante, as again, the deep line, well not deep line playmaker, as the DM. Billy Gilmour to his left, and then Mason Mount as the, I guess, most furthest forward to their right. At the beginning, I wasn't sure, is it a 4-2-3-1? Is it a 4-3-3 in the end? I thought it was more of a 4-3-3, but kind of in some periods, I guess, it switched more to a 4-2-3-1 as well. Pulisic kept his place on the left wing. Willian again started on the right wing after already starting against Villa and Manchester City. And then Tammy Abraham got his first start since the restart and started up front. So that was that. That is the team, except, like I said, Caballero in goal instead of Kepa. And honestly, guys, we were so bad to start with. We were so bad. Billy Gilmour gave the ball away about 50 million times, honestly. I love the kid, right? And he's only 18 or 19 or whatever he is. But that was not good. He was really struggling, and only like 20-30 seconds in, he gave the ball away and Leicester were kind of through, but Barnes thankfully messed up his first touch. Otherwise, he would have been through on goal, one-on-one with the keeper. And that would have been an awful start, right? And we just couldn't get things going. I mean, not that Leicester did much except when we made mistakes, but we made way too many mistakes by way too many players. Billy Gilmour had a few. Mason Mount was kind of invisible and just caught in the middle of nowhere and just doing nothing. Tammy was struggling against Soyuncu. The only one that was really doing something and anything, and the only chance we had in the first half, that I can remember right now anyways, was Pulisic. After nice, to be fair, link-up play with Mason Mount, and then he hit a hard shot from just inside the box, but didn't direct it towards the corner of the goal anywhere near enough, I guess. But then still, you know, forced Schmeichel into a very strong arm to save it, basically. So, you know, that is that, basically. I will mention Pulisic's possible injury in a little bit. Just wait for that, guys. And by the way, I will get to what you guys have put in the chat later on when I'm basically done talking through the game as much as I want to talk about it, basically. But if you want to make sure I read your chat, of course, don't hesitate to use the super chat option, I guess. But of course, you don't have to. But if you want to, you know, we'd always very much so appreciate it. But let's just move on. And, you know, we really struggled. I mean, our centre-backs were all right. I thought both Zouma and Rudiger did okay. Leicester really never attacked down Emerson's side that I can remember. They always kind of targeted Reece James' side. And I'm starting to notice that, okay, Reece James, this restart hasn't really gone all too well for him. Had a poor cameo against Villa, didn't feature against Man City, and now was taken off at half-time. We'll get into that. I just realised he's a bit slower than I thought he is, which is a bit bad. So I hope that doesn't become too much of an issue as his career goes on. But we just really struggled to create anything. I thought Pulisic and Willian were okay, but everyone else was kind of struggling. Kante had some good defensive movements and defensive actions as he tackled people and won the ball back. But as a team, we just lost the ball way too quickly. We couldn't get a hold of the ball. Leicester pressed us quite a lot, especially early on. But again, a little bit like in the Manchester City game, after the drinks break, after 22 minutes or so, we got better. Not like we were incredible, but got better. We had that Pulisic chance, we had a play through on the right-hand side that almost led to a good opportunity as well. We got better. but it wasn't good. But Leicester dropped off a little bit. They stopped pressing us so much, and then it became kind of an even game of nothingness, to be honest. Sorry, just need a drink. It became a bit of a game of nothingness that Frank Lampard clearly was not happy with. Going into half-time, we made a triple substitution at half-time, and that is what I want to see from the manager when he notices things are not working out, right? He makes a triple substitution and tries to change it, as all of them. Azpilicueta came on for Reece James, Ross Barkley came on for, I guess, Mason Mount, and Mateo Kovacic came on for Billy Gilmour, and that changed everything. We were out of nowhere. We were way more aggressive. We were way more secure on the ball, especially with Kovacic in, on the field, and generally also the halftime talk by Frank Lampard really seemed to help. We were just so much more confident and so much more on it and so much more just aggressive. Honestly, it was brilliant, and it was such a big change. Honestly, I was happy with that, and it didn't take us too long. Let me just get the exact minute up. It didn't take us too long to actually get a break then in the second half, because it didn't take us that long to actually score our goal, because we scored that in the 63rd minute through Ross Barkley, and it was a lovely goal. Rudiger pushing really high up the pitch, passing it out wide to Willian. Willian then over to Aspie back to Willian, and then Willian with a nice cross into the half space, where Barkley made a lovely run into with a perfectly timed first time finish, rolling it into the bottom far corner. And that is a finish that looks way easier than it actually was. And there we have the first super chat. Thank you again. You was here last time already, Blue FT216. Thank you for the £2 donation. He said, when is the next semi-final FA Cup draw? Well, I don't know for sure, but I assume it takes place after the last quarter-final, which should be the City-Newcastle game later on tonight. Or is there one tomorrow? If there is one tomorrow, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's probably after the City-Newcastle game, which takes place later, which kicks off in 15 minutes. So, after that, I assume I get to see the first. I would like to know about him. All right. Sorry, I was just reading a comment. Yeah, so I'm expecting the cup draw to take place there. But, let's just finish talking about the game first. Barkley with a lovely finish. And after that, Leicester were dead. Leicester were doing absolutely nothing. I mean, we made some more substitutions not long after the goal. Ruben came on for Christian Pulisic. And Pulisic, after coming off, he was kind of treated a little bit on his calf. Not sure whether it was a knock. Not sure whether it's an injury. We don't know. I'm sure Frank Lampard will touch on it in this post-match press conference. Difficult to say. Might keep him out of the West Ham game on Wednesday. But to be honest, he might not have started that anyway after already starting City and today. So we'll have to wait and see about that one. Let's hope it's nothing serious, and let's hope he can be back and just basically let's just hope he isn't injured at all. That'd be bloody brilliant. But again, let me just touch on it because we're still really close to hitting 100,000 subscribers here on Blues Fans TV. So if you haven't, please make sure you subscribe. Honestly, guys, it would mean so much to us. All of you that are here, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. And also 280 of you watching, so please make sure you drop a like. It's only 50 likes. Drop a like, because why not? It doesn't cost you anything. Let's keep going with the game. Leicester were dead. We were controlling things at that point. Not really creating much ourselves. It kind of felt like we were also conserving energy to some extent, but that was going all right. To be honest, that was going all right. We had a couple of breakthrough moments, but we should have done much more with it. Ross Barkley had a couple of moments. Once he just shot way over the bar for no reason. In another position, he had Ruben to his far left, Tammy right next to his left, and Pedro to his right. He found the worst pass he could possibly get to Ruben, but behind Ruben, so Ruben had to stop and kind of pass it back to Barkley as he fell over. And then Barkley still had Pedro to his right, but then took not even the worst shot, but pretty much straight at Schmeichel, even though Schmeichel struggled more with it than he probably should have done. So that was that, and it was a little bit of an issue, quite frankly. Pardon me. Don't know, my voice is my throat is a bit, rough today. Pardon me. But yeah, that was then really it for the game, except that Leicester for the last 5 or 10 minutes tried to push us a little bit. So Yunche had a free header at the far post, actually, when Caballero was just sailing through nothingness. And Aspie clearly isn't as strong and as tall as Yunche, but thankfully, Yunche messed up that header. But other than that, Leicester did nothing. They had a bit of an almost power play for the last 5 or 10 minutes, but did absolutely nothing with it. We just held on, we ground it out, and we are through to the semi-final. What more can you ask for? We were 3 wins on the bounce since the restart. 5 wins on the bounce, if you ignore the break from football. You can't really ask much more. We're only 1 point of third anymore in the Premier League. We're into the semi-final of the FA Cup. Honestly, things are going much better than I ever expected, quite frankly. Things are going much better than I ever expected. And yes, like Melinda says, likes. Drop some likes, people. Honestly, really do appreciate that if you do drop a like. And yeah, let's just keep going because, I need to talk through a couple of performances here. Caballero, okay, was sailing through midair, but I thought in general he was alright. Didn't really have that much to do, to be honest. It also kind of just shone through Leicester's problem in the last 2 games, why they did draw against Watford and why they did draw against Brighton. They're just not doing anything going forward. I mean, it took a screamer by Ben Chilwell against Watford to even take them up 1-0, and they considered an equaliser in the end. But they did nothing. And they didn't really do much against Brighton either. And that was kind of the case here. I mean, we offered them so many chances in the first half with so many mistakes on our part, but they never capitalised on any of them. They were really poor. So that helped us, because after such a shocking first half like we had, we should have been in much more trouble than we actually, were in the end. So it was actually kind of fine. Caballero was alright, had that one mistake that led to this United chance. But other than that, I thought he was okay. Zuma, I thought was brilliant. Not quite as good as Christensen against City, but again, he was really good. So, fair play. Fair play. Rudiger was decent as well. Didn't really have much to complain about with Rudiger at all. Emerson, I thought, was decent as well. I mean, Leicester didn't really do much on the left side, and Emerson didn't help much in attack. But defensively, I have nothing to criticise him for, really. He wasn't asked to defend much, fair enough. But when he did alright. So, no worse or better than Alonso has done in the last few games, I thought, quite frankly. Reece James had good moments, but had bad moments. Outpaced a few times on the left wing by Barnes and also Chilwell, and then taken off at half time. Really struggling since the restart. I hope he sorts himself out. Kante was decent. I was happy with Kante today in general. He still has sometimes he has good passes and sometimes he has bad passes. Kante, when I always say I don't want him as a DM, that isn't because he can't pass at all. He's a professional footballer. He's a World Cup winner. Do you know what I mean? He's a really, really good footballer in all aspects of the game, but he's not as consistently good at passing as someone like Jorginho or Kovacic is, right? So he has too many wayward passes that just happen. But he's defensively so good, and what he allows us to do is what we did in the second half is he allows us to, even though we kind of switch more into a 4-2-3-1 with Kovacic kind of sitting more next to him than Billy Gilmour did, I thought, and Barkley more of a proper number 10, but at times Barkley was also to the right and Kovacic to the left. So that mix again. But Kante allowed us to have both midfielders more attacking, which we can't do when Jorginho plays there. Jorginho gives us more control of the game than Kante does. Of course he does. We control the pace of the game much more when Jorginho plays there. But Kante still allows us that, and that is good. And it will be very interesting to see what we're going to use. I was very surprised to not see Jorginho start, especially with Kante being out so much this season. I'm a bit worried that he's going to get injured again, but so far he seems to have been fine. And now coming to Billy Gilmour, struggled. I'm sorry. I mean, I like the kid, and he's only 18 or 19 years of age, but that's what people need to understand. Okay, he was brilliant against Everton and Liverpool, right? But he's 18 or 19. You can't expect that from him every single game. That's why I wouldn't necessarily have started him myself. I thought Lampard would start him, and he did. But that's why I wouldn't all the time. He's only 18, 19. We can't just build all of our hopes on him and say, sell Jorginho, we've got Billy Gilmour. No, he's not quite there yet. He might well be there in the end, but he's not quite there just yet. I mentioned Mason Mount already. Was also taken off at halftime, just like Billy Gilmour and Reece James, of course. Struggled. Had that one interplay with Pulisic that led to our only real chance in the first half. But other than that, was kind of like caught in nothing. Like, wasn't really able to press. Wasn't really able to get on the ball much. Kind of just struggling. Pulisic on the left, brilliant. I mean, didn't get his goal today, but worked his socks off. Really, really beautiful dribbling. Honestly, he's giving off a little bit of Hazard vibes. He's not Hazard, don't get me wrong, and I'm not comparing him. But the kind of vibes, the kind of elegance when he's dribbling and going past people, it just looks so seamless. It's lovely. It's honestly lovely to watch. And like I said, hopefully he's not injured or anything. That'd be good. Willian on the right, I thought was good. People keep on hating on Willian. Scored the winning penalty against City and created the whole chance that led to the penalty himself. Willian did as well with an unbelievable run late on in the game, let's be honest, right? So Willian, fair play. And again with the assist today, and did all right, worked his socks off, got the assist. His corners aren't that good. I know that. On average, his corners aren't that good. Even though he plays more good corners than some people on Twitter give him credit for, his corners aren't that good. I get that. But in overall play, I think he's doing really well. And to be honest, I wouldn't hate it if he accepted the 2-year deal that we have offered him. Don't give him a 3-year deal, don't get me wrong. Not at all. Don't give him that. That'd be shocking. But a 2-year deal, I would be okay with. Not to start him regularly, don't get me wrong. Not at all. But to have him round, I wouldn't mind it. Also surprised that Hudson-Odoi wasn't featured again. Don't know what's going on with him. Like, he's just not match fit. Not match fit means you can still be on a bench, surely. But, I mean, fair enough. And then Tammy Abraham, I mean, he scored an offside goal, which I forgot to mention. But it was quite clearly offside, so what can you say? But he worked his socks off, held his own against the injury for the most part. Was strong, was quick. His layoff in his hold-up play was decent, better than we've seen from him before this season, and not too far off what Giroud usually does. So I was quite happy with Tammy, even though he didn't get on the score sheet. I was okay with that. And quickly, I want to touch on that. Ben Chilwell, absolute shocker. Absolute shocker. I mean, especially second half when Aspie came on. Aspie and Willian, and Barkley to the half right as well. We like tore the living shit out of Ben Chilwell. He was doing absolutely nothing. And when he was in the box, okay, a couple of decent crosses, yeah. But when he was in the box, well, they just played it over the goal line, basically. What's he doing? And we're considering paying £80 million for that. I'd rather not, my friends. I'd rather not. But I will say, James Maddison didn't play for Leicester today. Other than that, it was pretty much the strongest team that they have available. But if they had Maddison, I think they might have punished us a little more for our mistakes in the first half. I will say that. But that's it. I mean, we're through to the semi-final at the end of the day with a good second half performance. Lampard substitutions making a big, big difference. Honestly, a huge difference. And it helped a lot. 3 substitutions at half-time. Then another one with Ruben coming on in the 70th minute. And then the last substitution was Pedro coming on for Willian just before the 80th minute. So, we used all 5 subs. It worked to change the game around. We won the game. We're through to the semi-final of the FA Cup. We're still chasing 3rd in the Premier League. I can't really ask for much more. And now, guys, I will go to a couple of comments by you guys in the chat, because why the hell not, really? Why the hell not? Might as well do that. Willian is hard to bench, man. Respect to him. I agree, to be honest. Like, until Hudson-Odoi comes back from injury and, gets some match fitness and actually starts performing, Willian is undroppable, really. Tammy reads the game so bad. His football brain really is not the best. No world-class player in the making, for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's always the discussion when you have the striker making a wrong movement. What's going on with that? Bloody hell, I can't speak. There's always that argument when the striker's making a move where the ball doesn't go. Is the striker at fault, or is the guy that passes the ball at fault? You can always argue that. I think Tammy hasn't been too bad. I think he's got the instincts. Give him a little bit longer and, he will score. He definitely will. Tammy was trying his best. I agree. The players looked so bad today. I agree. We were not good, especially in the first. Second half, for the first 20 minutes was good, and then we were kind of just slow, but we knew that Leicester weren't doing anything either, so we did what was necessary to get the job done, and that was okay. Loftus-Cheek did absolutely nothing. I'm not a big fan of Ruben playing on the wing. I mean, it's better for him to get minutes playing on the wing than no minutes at all, but he's kind of wasted out there, in my opinion. Unless we got all guns out blazing, attacking, pressing against a team that doesn't just park the bus, then fair enough. But that's not what Leicester did, and that's also not what Aston Villa did. Or that's not what we did against Villa. So that's not his best position. But at some point he will be able to play in midfield as well, and then we will see his true potential again. Pulisic is so damn smooth with the ball, unbelievable, trying to get Tammy a goal. Yeah, not wrong. Not wrong, to be honest, Michael. Semi-final draw after City game. Yes, Hassan, thank you. Barkley should have passed to Pedro, and the pass to Loftus-Cheek was poor. Yeah, I mean, I actually believe that Tammy and Ruben had a better angle to shoot than Pedro did on the right, because there was the one defender that was there was towards Pedro's side. So Ruben had the best angle to shoot and score, but the pass to him by Barkley was just shocking. Absolutely shocking. And Barkley really messed that up. But at the end of the day, he still won us the game. Even though when I saw that happen, I was like, yeah, that's the Barkley I know. Because Barkley has really honestly been impressive in 2020 for the most part. It's like just before the break, honestly, he's been good. And what more can you really ask for? I mean, he's just been good. He's scoring goals, getting assists, working really hard against Man City. Fair play to the guy. Fair play to the guy. Anyways, your stance on Pedro leaving. Well, good. I mean, he's poor. I mean, he's a nice guy and all that, but he's not that good. Let's be honest. We need Chilwell. Disagree. Borussia Mönchengladbach left back is a bargain. He is a star in the making. Do you mean the Swedish guy? Forgot his name now. Do you mean the Swedish guy? I'm not so sure about that one. Hi, Blue Horse. Hello. Our first team players in the first half, except Pulisic and Rudiger and Kante, need to be a backup next season. I mean, that's a bit harsh, but fair enough. I suck. Bloody hell. Chill. Any transfer news? Well, there's always a little bit of transfer news about Chilwell. There's Havertz. There's Declan Rice, which is interesting. Apparently we're after him, especially if West Ham get relegated, but to make him our ball-playing centre-back rather than a DM, which I'd definitely be much more in favour of. But then I'm also like, okay, Ampadu is shorter. But I feel like Ampadu is better at everything than Declan Rice is. Declan Rice just has a bit more experience already. We had got Tellez. I mean, still possible, but I still prefer Tagliafico, to be honest. Onana will be great. I disagree. How would you rate Pedro's performance since he came on? I mean, he wasn't really involved much. Gave the ball away once or twice in silly situations, but difficult to judge him, to be honest. But guys, I think I'm going to do like one or two more questions that you guys have put into the chat. Again, let me just mention it one last time, please, guys. Do subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. Honestly, it would mean so much to us. We're only a couple of hundred subscribers away from 100,000 subscribers, and it is such a huge milestone for us to reach. So honestly, please, guys, do subscribe if you haven't already. Tell all your friends, tell all your mates, tell your mum, tell your dad, tell your brothers, your sisters, tell all of them to please subscribe. It would mean so much to us. And over 460 if you're watching, drop a like. 150 likes we have so far. Drop a like on this live stream. If you're watching this at a later point when it turned into a video, also drop a like. That'd be massively appreciated. And also leave me your thoughts on the whole game then in the comment section below. Again, another comment by Kayo. How you, mate? Let's be real. Werner will start up top and Tammy will be rotational. We'll have to wait and see. With how good Pulisic is, you would argue that that would probably have to be the case. I said that after the City game already. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. I hope so, but then it always depends on how Werner does as a sole striker, because that's definitely not what he usually played at Leipzig. Pedro and Barkley were a bit selfish. Yeah, but Barkley also scored, so what can you say? Your thoughts on Willian staying? I mean, I don't think he will stay, but, you know, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. Unless we give him a 3-year contract. Don't do that. Absolutely not. Chelsea fan, first of all, change your icon, because that's wrong. What left back do you think we should sign? I don't know. Maybe like Tagliafico. I'd be okay with him. My mum, green. All right. Don't know what that means, but cheers, mate. Lol, we got some trolls on this live video. Yeah, we seemingly do have some trolls on this live video. Who does Lampard play in midfield on Wednesday? Well, probably Kante, because he seems to play Kante every game. And then probably Kovacic and Mount. Kovacic and Ruben. Kovacic and Barkley. Barkley and Ruben? I don't know. Barkley and Mount? Who the fuck knows? Let me think about that on Tuesday, please. Not now. It's only Sunday, mate. You the best at interacting with us in the Chelsea community. Honestly, appreciate it. Aiden means a lot. And one last comment by Kayo that I'm going to get to. He played as a lone striker yesterday, and his movement and strength always better than Tammy. Yes, he did play as a lone striker yesterday. That is not wrong, but still in a, if I'm not mistaken, in a back 3/back 5, which of course is different. So having wing backs on the side, so he still drifted out wide quite a lot. I didn't see all of the game, but yeah. And also, I mean, it was, who did I play? Düsseldorf? Did I play Düsseldorf? No. I feel like I played someone else. Augsburg. You know, on and off team, innit? Jorginho and Kova, if he doesn't play Jorginho against Villa, doesn't play him against City, and doesn't play him against Leicester in the Cup, I doubt he's going to play Jorginho against West Ham. But maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. I want him to play. Which club do you want Chelsea to face in the semi-final? Arsenal. Well, unless Newcastle go through and beat City tonight, but I doubt that. But if that happens, then Newcastle. If City win, then Arsenal. And yeah. Okay, one last question. What do you think about Declan Rice? If he's cheap enough, and when I say cheap enough, I mean 40 million, 30 million or under, and there's a ball playing centre-back, okay, but I still prefer Ethan Ampadu, and I still think that's the better option. Just that Declan Rice is taller, which I guess you kind of, you know. What? Sorry, someone just put in the comments, bro, you're awesome. More power to your elbow. Yes, more power to my elbows. Don't know who you are, Emma Amordi, but I love it. But guys, I'm going to end the stream here. Like I said multiple times in the stream already. Please be sure to subscribe. Honestly, guys, that was the wrong button. Subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. Help us reach 100,000 subscribers. Drop a like on this live stream if you enjoyed it. Drop a like on this video if you're watching it at a later point. And leave me your thoughts on the game down in the comment section below. And leave me your thoughts on who you would want us to face in the semi-finals. Also down in the comment section below. Like I said, for me, it's Arsenal. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea. And I'll see ya when I see ya.